Welcome back to This Week in Sheffield. I hope you're all doing well and are happy with the grades that came out yesterday. Now, we've only got a few weeks until Easter, and to be honest, after this past weekend, I'm really starting to feel a spring vibe. Anyway, here are the headlines. A vigil was held in the Peace Gardens on International Women's Day to remember the victims of domestic abuse and to raise money for groups such as Sheffield Women's Aid. Sheffield is celebrating its 11th annual Beer Week, with local pubs putting on special events such as beer tasting amidst financial concerns in the hospitality industry. The Sheffield Sharks enjoyed a historic win against the Surrey 89ers at Nottingham Arena, claiming the Super League Basketball Cup. Stay tuned for this and more on This Week in Sheffield. Now, the 8th of March is globally known as International Women's Day, with a wide range of events taking place in many countries, and Saturday marked the 115th year this event has been celebrated. Here, the Sheffield Women's Collective held a vigil to commemorate the victims of domestic abuse and to raise money for various charities, like Sheffield Women's Aid. Philippa Justino has more.
In the city centre of Sheffield, people gather to remember the life of those lost to domestic violence.
At age 14, I was groomed and sexually assaulted by a school friend's dad.
Jade Wade, co-founder of Sheffield Women's Collective, speaks out about her abuse to remind other women they are not alone.
I don't want anyone to have to feel how I felt growing up, like I wasn't believed or wasn't heard. We want to try to reduce violence against women and girls and oppression and misogyny in that area across the board.
It's an ongoing cycle of fear, control and manipulation.
The candlelights illuminate the otherwise dim-lit Peace Gardens.
She was a daughter, a sister, a mother, a friend, a person.
As the name of 80 women whose lives were lost in the last year in the UK are read aloud in hopes that they won't be forgotten.
Daviana Graham. Share maximum.
In the UK, a woman is killed every 3 days by a man. This is after the Labour government announced last year to reduce the crime against women and girls by half in 2025.
One woman is too many. One child is too many.
Change begins when we say this is not okay, when we work together to create a world where every person, regardless of their gender, can live without fear. Thank you.
Pubs and restaurants have been closing down across Sheffield, but they are a key part of the city's rich culture, relying on customers to keep them thriving. Taja Booth has the story.
Between 2022 and 2024, over 450 pubs, restaurants and cafes closed in Yorkshire, according to figures from Trade Body UK Hospitality. Many businesses have struggled to cope with the cost of living crisis, and that has led to so many beloved pubs and restaurants having to close down. Students are also going out a lot less as they can't afford the rising costs. Despite this, many pubs are still thriving, and there may be hope yet for the hospitality industry in Yorkshire.
So on the weekdays, it can be quite busy, especially on a Wednesday, being that it's like sports, it's a sports day for uni. But on the weekends, it is really busy, like constant kind of flow of people, and yeah, kind of no let up really. There's not been a kind of slowdown of customers, but there is a lot of people making comments, which is completely fair enough. It's understandable when prices are rising, because it is a bit ridiculous. Some of them go up by like 30p at a time, which is a bit of a shock, even for us, to be honest. I think it'll take a big toll on people, to be honest. I think pubs are kind of a quite essential kind of thing for, especially like student life. It's a shame. Like there's Dorothy Pack's closing, Hope Works is just closed. So I know a lot of people who like go to those venues, and it'll take a toll.
These places are really important for keeping the community together. Myself, I serve a lot of old people that I know are widowed and don't have access to a community otherwise. So having this place for people to come in and just chat and sit and be by themselves or be with other people, it's really important. As well, we're a student-based area, so we do a few things to get encouragement and participation. So at the minute, we've got a beer tap takeover to try and get some more people in. And we also do weekly quizzes to try and get people in. But yeah, no, these spaces are really, really important for communication and mental health and just humanity, really.
A lot of small bands start in these small little like grassroots kind of pubs, and like music's definitely a big driver of customers as well. So it's so important to have it just for like the socialisation, to keep that kind of culture going, because it's really like dwindling. The idea of you can just like book a venue for £100 and play a really sold out gig, yeah, that's just gone right down. We have student nights on a Monday and a Thursday. Other than that, we don't really get students in, and I think it's because the prices are lower specifically for them days for them and stuff. And I think people just don't have the money to be going out at the moment. I mean, God, look what lockdown did to us. Everyone was miserable. And like a lot of people, it's like their go-to place. And I feel like if you displace them from here, they're going to be like, where do I go? They're going to get split up and stuff. It's like breaking up a family almost.
It's sad to see all the pubs and restaurants that have closed down across Sheffield, but they're such a key part of the city's rich culture and they rely on customers to keep them thriving. I don't think we need to worry about seeing all of our favourites leave, and there's now a lot more room in the market for all the brand new establishments. Tasia Booth, this week in Sheffield.
And one such independent venue that has closed recently is Dorothy Pax in the Victoria Keys. The owner says that they have faced an uphill battle since the pandemic and they've struggled to make ends meet with rising bills and the cost of living crisis. The venue has hosted countless bands and artists over the years and brought together fans and event goers from all across Yorkshire. Unfortunately, recent times have proved too difficult for the Dorothy Pax. A few bands such as Canadians in Space and Speed for Lovers have announced they will be hosting gigs in solidarity with the venue in upcoming weeks for the staff and anyone else affected by the closure. And now with some more positive news, also to do with pubs however, Sheffield is currently celebrating Beer Week. Now this event will hopefully bring some crowds in and support our independent venues. Trudy Wright has more.
This week is Sheffield's 11th annual Beer Week. This is a citywide celebration that unites brewers, beer enthusiasts, pubs and restaurants alike in a shared passion for the art of brewing. Here we are today at the Rutland Arms. Let's take a look inside and see what's on offer for this week. Throughout the week, we can expect to see a diverse range of beer-related events, such as brewery tours and tastings, in addition to beer and food pairings. So I'm here with Chris Bamford, the owner of this pub, and also of the Crowin and the Harlequin. So Chris, what is the importance of Sheffield Beer Week?
Well, Sheffield Beer Week has been going on for about 11 years now, I think. It's always been a big opportunity in the Sheffield beer calendar to kind of put on a lot of events, get sort of just increase interest in different sorts of beer, different breweries, just sort of more awareness of quite how diverse and interesting beer can be, really.
What will your pubs be doing in particular to celebrate the Beer Week?
We've got a few things on this year. We've kind of gone for wider themes at each pub, so the Crow is kind of focusing on European beer and like really good modern European breweries. The Harlequin is looking a bit more sort of classic European, kind of Belgian, Czech and German beer. And here we've kind of got a theme of lots of different British styles of beer, so trying to get as many different styles of beer that sort of originate in the UK on over the course of the week. We've got Burning Sky Brewery, who have been going for just over 10 years down in Sussex, coming up on Thursday to do a tasting, and we've got some of their beer on draft. We've got the Beer Week quiz at the Harlequin on Wednesday, which I'll be hosting with a little bit of a beer theme this week. And then the Crow is tomorrow doing beer bingo. Something a bit more fun.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. Well, guys, come on down to these pubs and support these local businesses. Cheers.
Yes.
Trudy Wright, This Week in Sheffield.
And now we go to Arco Dutta with the top stories in sport.
The Sheffield Sharks made history on Sunday afternoon with victory in the Super League Basketball Cup Final. A high-scoring victory over the Surrey 89ers meant they became champions in front of 3,000 travelling fans at the Nottingham Arena. Ollie Mitchell was there, reporting from the scene.
It was a party for the Sharks as they beat the side from Guildford for the 4th time this season. Led by captain Prentice Nixon and the game's MVP Donovan Clay, they took home a 105-97 win to be crowned inaugural champions of the new Super League Basketball Cup.
It's a first stable run for 9 years for the Sheffield Sharks, and it's a whole new generation of players this time around.
It's coach Atiba Lyons' 5th trophy with the Sharks, and the new-look side looked to be building something special at the Cannon Medical Arena. It was, however, not quite to be for the Sheffield Hatters, who lost their final against the ruthless Oakland's Wolves side, who won their first trophy in franchise history. There are still the playoffs in May, as well as the championship for the Sharks and Hatters to play for, so this could well be an incredibly special season for Sheffield basketball. Ollie Mitchell, This Week in Sheffield.
Now with ice hockey and in a dramatic night at the Utilita Arena, Sheffield Steelers held their nerve to secure a gritty 4-3 victory over Glasgow Clan, earning 2 vital points in the Elite League race. Marco Vallerand marked his 300th Elite League appearance with 2 goals, while Miko Usola and Daniel Ciampini also found the net. Glasgow kept the pressure on with goals from Simon Dupre and Cole Uli, but Sheffield's defence held strong despite a late power play scare. The Steelers now prepare for a retro weekend double-header against Guildford and Cardiff. Elsewhere, at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United kept their promotion hopes alive with a narrow win. Tyrese Campbell's second-half strike secured a 1-0 victory over Preston, moving the Blades level on points with leader Leeds. Preston struggled to create chances, extending their winless run to 5 games under manager Paul Heckingbottom, who faced his former club. Sheffield United now sit firmly in the promotion race with a crucial win at home, as they hope to edge past Leeds by winning against Bristol City tonight. Now going with the spirit, Sheffield Wednesday also eased to a 3-0 victory over Plymouth, ending their 3-match losing streak. An early own goal from Nathaniel Ogber set the tone before Callum Patterson and Jedi Gassama added to the tally. The win lifts Wednesday's spirits and keeps them clear of relegation trouble, as they look to build back momentum in the Championship, facing Norwich away from home tonight. And today, we have fellow University of Sheffield student and England partially sided futsal player Jake Heasman joining us on the show. Jake, who studies journalism, went to the European Championships last November in Turkey, where he helped the team win a bronze medal against the host nation. Let's catch up with him. Right, Jake, how have you been?
Yeah, no, all good, thank you, Arco. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. So basically, traces back to how you got into futsal.
Yeah, so I sort of played mainstream sort of football, my local grassroots club with my mates really. That's probably why I started playing football, to just be around them away from school. But yeah, as I got a bit older, like getting to play like 7-a-side pitches and then 9-a-side, 11-a-side, just as the pitches got bigger, my sight sort of stopped me from playing on that size pitch really, just because I couldn't see the ball on the other side of the pitch, or the ball goes in the air, I'd sort of lose it and other players would win it and I'd be like 10-15 yards behind them already. So yeah, I was really lucky through Brighton Hove Albion Football Club. They ran like a talent hub for partially sighted deaf and cerebral palsy football players to potentially go and play and represent England one day. So yeah, I was 10 and had a trial there. Yeah, really lucky to get involved in it from there.
And was your vision like sort of from birth, or was it like over the years?
Yeah, so I think it could have been from when I was born or when I was 2. So I had 2 sort of mini seizures, and I had an MRI scan sort of by chance really, and they found that I've got a brain tumour, which sort of sits between like the nerves that connect your eyes to your brain. So that sort of squashes the nerves that connect the two, and that's why my vision's not quite so good. So yeah, my right eye is worse than my left, but yeah, they're both impaired.
Okay. And then with Brighton, how was it like training with them? How was it different from what you were used to with the challenges of like vision when you're playing a normal game?
Yeah, I think I didn't feel quite as isolated. I know that sounds like quite an extreme word, but like I'd never really met someone who had a visual impairment or even anyone who was sort of disabled really before I was sort of 10, 11. And then going into that environment where there were people who maybe had not quite the exact same condition as me but faced similar sort of challenges if they're visually impaired or deaf, or, do you know what I mean, we all had obstacles to overcome, and that really helped me, I think, progress as a person and as a player. Do you know what I mean? You relate to people and how they have to adapt to different situations, and I sort of was able to relate to that. And it also helped I could see the other side of the pitch as well, instead of when I was playing on a Sunday I'd see maybe like a quarter or half of the pitch and get frustrated. But yeah, I just felt really accepted, and like to be able to say that I was playing for Brighton was like a dream come true. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't obviously the academy side, but still being able to say that I represented the football club was just unbelievable. So yeah, for going into school every week going, oh, I'm going to go train with Brighton, or I'm going to play for Brighton this weekend, it was just like, yeah, unreal feeling.
Yeah, talk of the school really.
Yeah.
So how was your training sort of different from what you were used to in terms of being at Brighton?
So yeah, it was quite a lot, because futsal's very technical and tactical based. It's a very different game. So futsal's like 5-a-side, so you have 4 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. There's like unlimited rolling subs as well, so you could play for like a minute and then get brought off and then get brought back onto the pitch and play like 4 or 5 minutes. So I think the fast-paced nature of the game really helped me develop as a player, and I was really lucky with the coaches that were at the Talent Hub. They had so much knowledge of the sport and the smaller technical and again tactical sort of sides of the game that, yeah, I think really helped me get better, hopefully. But yeah, no, it was just a really welcoming and professional sort of environment as well. Like I really felt like I was training to like a elite sort of player, even at 10 or 11, which to be honest I just wanted to kick a ball about really and score goals. But yeah, it just felt really welcomed and inclusive as well.
And what position did you start off, or like do you play?
So well, in football, when I sort of started playing, it started sort of as a goalkeeper, which is mental looking back at it really, considering I didn't have great vision. And now I sort of play as like a winger. So futsal, you normally, where the teams play different positions, but you have like a defender, a striker and 2 wingers in the formation that I've sort of played in majority of the time that I've played. Yeah, normally one of the 2 wingers. So yeah, not scoring loads of goals, which I probably should score a few more, but yeah, trying to make things work by moving the ball about and maybe trying to get other people to score.
Did you have any like football players or futsal players that you were like, I want to not copy, but like inspired by them maybe?
Yeah, I think Frank Lampard, because I'm a massive Chelsea fan, Frank Lampard was probably the biggest inspiration, or the player that I sort of liked the most. And probably because he scored loads of goals, and yeah, was a midfielder as well, so sort of the similar position-ish. And then a futsal player called Ricardinho, who plays for Portugal, and he's just unbelievable. Like, you Google some of his highlights on YouTube, he's just like, yeah, sending people the wrong way, like sliding on the floor. You're like, yeah, that's something I'd love to be able to do, which I'm not able to do at the moment. But yeah, he's just unbelievable. So yeah, to try and watch and see how he sort of plays, yeah, it's really helpful. And there's lots of different other players, even for the England mainstream team as well. Like there's so many good players in England that you can sort of look at and try and replicate in how they play.
And how would you say, like, getting that call up from England, how was that like? And then what have been your sort of best achievements so far, would you say?
I can't really put it into words how it felt to be called up to my first like England sort of camp. I was sort of 17. There's like a mixed development and senior sort of squad camp, and I was part of the development squad at the time, so not really expecting anything of it. And I had a phone call from the head coach a couple of weeks later, and he was like, oh, we want you to sort of stay around the senior squad set up. Yeah, no, I just went mental, to be fair. I couldn't believe it. Sort of a bit of like a pinch myself moment. And yeah, I've been really lucky to sort of be part of the squad ever since. I've been part of the squad for 3 years now. I've been really fortunate in my first major tournament. It was the World Cup in Birmingham in 2023, so I got to play in front of all my family and friends, and people were watching on YouTube as well. We made the World Cup final, but lost in extra time to Ukraine in 4-3 with 20 seconds left to go, so that was a pretty hard one to take. And then went to the Euros in November last year in Turkey. We won a bronze medal there. So yeah, that was a tougher experience. Maybe results didn't go quite the way we wanted to, but it's definitely an amazing learning experience. And yeah, to be able to say that I've got 18, 19, 20 England caps, it again is just like something I'd never dream of.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you've now had a lot of success with England, like with your own personal sort of journey. What message do you have for like kids who are, you know, maybe looking to get into it?
Yeah, I think just like take every opportunity you can. Do you know what I mean? You never know who you're sort of talking to or where that experience or person you chat to might lead you to. Yeah, like I've been so fortunate with all the people that I've met. They've led to pretty good experiences. To be able to say that I've represented my country and spoken to lots of people that I'd never thought that I'd be in that sort of circle or be able to talk to and get those experiences. So yeah, just take every opportunity you can with both hands.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks a lot for coming in, Jake. It was brilliant talking to you, and good luck on your next tournament.
Thanks, Loco.
Yeah.
Now, we can all agree that this past weekend has been really great. I honestly had a lovely time in CVP, and for the first time this year, I was able to leave the house without a coat. Now, unfortunately, our beloved weather presenter Thea is ill today. So let me tell you guys about this thing called a weather app, and this guy called Siri. He can tell you all about it as well. So unfortunately, you're going to have to make do with that until Thea gets better. Now, don't forget that our SU elections are also coming up very, very soon. And from Monday, you'll be able to meet all of the candidates and cast your vote by the end of that week. And the next time you'll see me will be next Friday on the 21st, announcing the winners live on Forge TV, so stay tuned. But either way, I will see you right here in the next episode. Now, I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Bye for now.